Noah, Maya, you've joined us on the Facebook Live. How are you guys?
Hello.
Hello.
Obviously, Tammy's here as well. Everyone knows my wife, Tammy.
Yeah.
So, yes. Oh, yeah.
No, but we were just saying, like, the people don't usually see us. We're always on the back channels.
I know, right? People look at this guy now going, shit, have Axon got a bunch of female coaches now as well? What the fuck is going on there?
No, these are our behind-the-scene ninjas every week.
Yes.
So normally they're the ones running the show from behind the scenes and making magic happen mainly for you, Robbie. You're on most weeks. Recently was the property specialist last week. Was it last week?
Dave,
yes. Last fortnight. And a few special guests recently. We've had a bunch of different ones, but I haven't been on for a while.
Woo! She's back in the house. Look out. Tammy T's back in the house. No, we got such awesome feedback, ladies and gents, about getting to meet the rest of the peeps. You know, Mickey Galliner, you're absolutely right, mate. Love meeting the rest of the Axon peeps. So here we are, mate. Dave Simpson's in the house. Josh Simmons says hi as well. So, yes, Noah's our marketing manager. Sophie is our creative director / awesome graphic designer, content creator.
Creative director.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know where you pulled that out of. But
what about this, Soph? You've been packing it all day at work, in the office, haven't you? You're like nervous.
That is private. That is
don't you go in there, Robbie?
I love it. Dave Simpson. Hey team, welcome to the other side of the camera. Luke from the Gold Coast is in the house. Caitlin said hello, ladies. And small T, big T. Thank you, mate. I'll take both of them. No dramas. Hey, so you guys know how this works, right? Let's talk all things about, ADF transition. Let's talk about the property market, talk about finance space. I want to also ask some questions about what the girls actually do in the marketing department. Let me just correct myself there. There's another superstar, excuse me, that also works in the marketing department. He's on the other side of the camera permanently. He's like, I'm not fucking getting on the front side of the camera. And I do believe he's got some family stuff on tonight. But the guy who makes me look half decent, Mr. Daniel DWA. You'll be watching the bloody recording of this, mate. Shout out to you, champion. You're an absolute bloody masterful videographer.
Absolutely. He does joke at work that he's got 3 work wives, and he says, but not in the good way. It's like having 3 actual wives.
And all 3 of them are on tonight, and it doesn't include me.
Going, what snacks have you been eating?
That's why he was busy.
We give it
Speaking about bloody good people, Amana Lewis is in the house. Lukey Hughes has joined us as well. Natalie's given Daniel a bit of a shout out. Hey, so let's get it kicked off while everyone sort of joins in and starts to send through their questions. We can go through the normal list of questions tonight, ladies and gents, if you absolutely want to, for sure. Noah, you're not from Australia. You're ex-Brazilian, aren't you?
I'm on my way to becoming an Aussie, but
ex-Brazilian. She's got a visa. She's on the way to. You've got permanent-ish residency.
Yes.
On my way to it. Yes.
Yes. I remember it was September 2020.
That was
Yep. September
2 years ago.
Yep. September, October 2020. So you came and saw us for the first time. Yeah. And what were your first thoughts when you saw me stand up and give my founder's address in front of everyone when we were across at the Sheraton?
I remember that. I was like shaking. I was so nervous, and because of course, Brazilian and you all like veterans and from the military, and I was like, how can I fit in? But I was so welcomed. And of course, I just loved Robbie's energy from the start. I remember looking, I was like, I like him. And then I remember Tammy as well. And you guys, you sent me from the second day that I couldn't be there. You guys sent me the cutest video saying, hey, welcome, Noah. And I just felt so welcomed. And it was a very emotional moment for me, actually. And I was so happy. I remember Nat telling hey, we're so glad to have you on the team as well. And I just called my dad. I was like, Dad, I got the job. I couldn't believe it.
What did you actually say?
To my dad?
Yeah. Portuguese. Hey, Papa.
So I wasn't going through a good moment in my life. And then I called him and he coached me go and do this, go and do that, behave like this. Like, you know, even though you already have market experience, when you're nervous about it and when you really want something, you start like, you know, feeling, question yourself.
Yeah.
So I called him, I think it was like 1 p.m. in Brazil, in Portuguese. Yes, Luke.
Yes.
And then I said to him, "Pai," which is dad, "I got the job." And that was a very, very happy moment for us with COVID happening and I couldn't go back home. So yeah, that was
And
very
that's
happy.
you've only recently restored that. I mean, you were stuck away from your family for quite some time because of COVID and border lockdowns and the visa stuff. And you've only just recently gone back and seen your family. How was that?
Yeah, it was very like, I think because I couldn't make plans to go and see them, that was making me very anxious. And to a lot of Brazilians or a lot of international people that were stuck in Australia, like I used to say that I was a prisoner in paradise because I couldn't be, you know, stuck in the Gold Coast. How bad? But yeah, as soon as I saw my mom, I was shaking, and we still had to wear face masks and everything. It was in March. But I remember when I asked you guys and when I bought my tickets, I literally I was crying the whole time. And but I'm going again because guess what? My sister's getting married.
Yes.
So so I'm going back again twice in a year to Brazil.
Yeah. Love it. Hey, Dwayne, I've got your question there, brother. We'll absolutely wrap back around to that. And Fran, I can see that you've got a bit of a thing as well. Noah, just quickly, just so people can get to really know you, the whole attractive character thing. What were you doing back in Brazil? How did you become such a marketing ninja?
So I've worked with advertising for the last 12 years. So in Brazil, I had almost 10 years of experience working with a bunch of nice brands like Coke, like Unilever. I just launched. I had just launched Beck's Beer, which is, I don't know if you guys know, it's a famous beer brand in Brazil. So it's like some very nice projects. I worked for some good agencies back in Brazil, and just doing a little bit of everything. But I've never worked from the client side, so from a marketing department, which for me, I love it. I wouldn't don't ask me to go back to work in an agency and being the client manager or something. I just love being able to really deep dive in one universe and just making sure that we understand that universe and just do everything.
Yeah, it's got it's very, very different working for an agency like you were, where you've got the consumer, you've got the person, and you're the one in the middle creating all the magic. I guess, Tammy, would you agree? Because we got to a point, Tam, where you were doing all the marketing for a long time. Go back and listen to some podcasts where I sacked Tammy, then begged her to come back, and then she did the marketing for a long time. You had like an assistant come in for about a year or so, and then that sort of didn't work out, and then it went back to you. But then we started to get so much traction as the business grew. We brought more people on. So Tamara, you're doing the accounts, you're doing the HR, you're doing the GM function, and you're doing the marketing, and you're running My Life. So like you got a look on your face. You're like, I'm getting the speed wobbles.
I was like, I'm coming up for a nervous breakdown.
Tam, I don't know how you did it.
I don't know how I did it either.
Yeah. No, you would have noticed very, very quickly, though, one of the very unique parts of Axon is that we don't provide services to everybody. We've got a very niche market and a very targeted market. And I guess I saw the change in you once you wrapped your head around Defence Force people, ADF housing entitlements, relatability with the people that are working like with an Axon shirt. I knew that you were able to really sort of deep dive in that, and with all of Axon's success over the last couple of years is in large part very attributed to you and your team.
Thank you. But absolutely. And I guess with Tammy's support as well, she guided me a lot, especially in the beginning. But I remember when we were looking to make the funnel, which for you guys that don't understand, it's like a process to get people to know us, clicking through ads and then coming to our website. We had to have something attractive for people to get to know us. And Tammy already created with you guys this webinar on that would explain all the housing entitlements and showcase a few of our success stories as well. But I remember making questions to Tammy of like, why are we not getting their emails straight ahead, or things that are that people usually do normally in the market. And then Tammy explained to me, because veterans and ADF members, they're very what would be the word?
Protective.
Thank you. Yeah, they're very protective of their identity. They just don't trust people right away or things right away. They're more suspective. So yeah, I guess that was definitely a big learning right from the start that I got from Tammy, and that's what makes us unique as well, because we speak everyone's language, the veterans and ADF members' language, and the spouses' language as well. We understand their needs. So
and
good.
that's something in itself. Like Noah to have like English as a second language, and then ADF jargon pretty much as a third language. Like
it is for us.
They have their own language. Even stuff like we play some games, and some of you might have seen our TikToks and reels and stuff that the amazing Sophie and Daniel create as well. But like, yeah, just guessing their acronyms and like their chat and stuff. Like, I think that early on was more what I was teaching Noah, was like, no, rewrite it like this, or no, this means that. Like, and it was like learning another language while she was learning about our company as well. And
I said to you, sometimes, I don't know if I'm pretty sure Sophie does the same, but sometimes I feel like I'm a veteran. I'm like, oh, when I feel like, and my Facebook algorithm is so confused right now, because I get like all the veteran discount ads, like veteran like family, like any veteran related thing. And my Facebook is probably, wait a minute, weren't you Brazilian? Now you're a veteran in Australia. What's happening with you? Yeah.
Oh, that's gold. And of course, maybe 6-9 months later, we worked out that we were outsourcing all of our video editing, weren't we? And you were coordinating that, going back to an agency, which is what you used to do. And we'd send them a video. 4 days later, it'd come back to us, not edited correctly. We're like, fucking, like, what's this going back and forward?
Way more than that, like 2 weeks.
So then Tammy and I are like, let's get our own videographer to come on board. So, you did a great
and that was like
job.
silly things too. Like they would leave the music on after the video had finished for an extra minute and then send it. And so we've just got this 2-minute video of just a black screen and the background music playing. We're like, what the hell?
And we were paying a lot of money for that
to come back to us. So it was just getting to a point where we're like, we need this in-house. Like we need to, we need to take control of this better and when people are in-house, they understand what we're trying to achieve. You can feel that defense and veteran community, the language or the messaging, all of that stuff. It's so hard to be able to explain that our unique target market, our unique clients, to an external agency that are dealing with so many different clients. Like at first they were just sort of saying, oh, it's property. We deal with property. We're fine with property. We can sell property. Like,
not the way we do it.
No,
you can't sell.
No, you got this property, exactly. And it was very hard to explain it to them. And I guess, Robbie said this before in one of his OODA Loops videos of like how much our marketing could scale from hiring a full-time videographer and then a full-time marketing coordinator that focus on creative things, because we have so much time and experts in the field to just do things that we couldn't accomplish so much. So
Speaking of which,
being in the beginning, it was literally just Robbie and I, and I think the thing that made us so successful early on was because we really were students of marketing from day one. Like we sat through every webinar, signed up to every training, had every book, we were learning, signing up to courses, going to seminars, like just engulfed in so much stuff with all of our spare time,
spending time, everything,
reading books. Like we just really, we knew a bit from before from previous businesses and stuff, but we didn't know what we didn't know. And you don't know how much you need to learn until you need to learn it. So thankfully, I think that was such a great thing because we've always held the marketing side of our business in such a really strong state. Like we realize how important it is to have marketing.
But you know how, because you guys give us autonomy to go ahead and do whatever, and you guys give us support. You know, you're not always like, no, what's the ROI on this? You know, you understand marketing. Like I don't need to convince you guys that investing in this is important, and that by doing that, you're really helping the whole situation. Yeah.
But I also think because you guys built the product, you know, from nothing and handed the baton down to us, you also really helped us understand it in a different way. And like Noah, I didn't understand that you hadn't been in-house before. I've never worked in agency because I just don't feel like you get to know the brand well enough and you don't get to spend enough time. And that's one of the main reasons why I picked Axon, because I really wanted to work in-house again.
I was going to say, so if we're 16 minutes in and you've been sitting there so patiently and so quiet and you've just been like, all right, you guys draw off. Now, as you can see, Sophie's not ex-Brazilian, but you did spend a lot of time over in the UK. You got stuck over there with a bit of COVID, didn't you, buddy, before we met you?
Yeah, so it was the opposite of Noah. She couldn't leave Australia and I couldn't leave the UK.
You couldn't get back home.
4 months and about 3 mental breakdowns.
Yeah, I bet. Hey, so tell us, you know, you come with years and years of marketing experience as well.
Yeah,
what were your first impressions? Not first impressions. After being in Axon for a couple of weeks, you just sort of started to get a bit of an understanding of the vibe and the culture and the very unique nature of having a bunch of veterans working there. What was your what was your impression and your opinion starting to form?
It honestly took me a couple of weeks to understand it because there is so much depth to what, you know, the Axon experience is. And I felt like I really kind of had to work my way along. And I would say the first really memorable, meaningful Axon experience for me was going to Sam and CJ's handover, because that was the first time I had seen.
CJ's just joined us, brother. Thank you so much. How are you, mate? Yeah. Josie Johnson's in the house as well. Hello, Jose. How you doing, bud?
And we do love their photo of their house with the sun.
If you can't tell,
one of our favorite photos.
Phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, so if we went and did another handover yesterday with the lovely Tia and Josiah, and you know, Shania got to see the same thing. Like, did it? And she was sitting in the car afterwards. She's like, "I've now got a new purpose about my job." I'm like, "Well, that's good to know."
You have to kind of go along and see every different piece and speak to every different team and understand how everyone helps everyone to really understand how we all work together, because we do. It's a whole thing, and it really takes a village. It does.
It really is, and that's true. It is a machine, and it really does start with the marketing machine at the start. And then like getting our messaging across, people finding us in the first place, you know, these are the two chasing you for reviews on Google. And
Can I tell the story? Because I mean, here's the thing, ladies and gents. Oh, look at my little son there, Hanky. Here's the thing. We all know that you can have your phone sitting next to you and having a conversation with someone over a beer, over a coffee, or driving in the car. The next time you log on to your social medias, and take note of this, and tell me if you've already experienced it before, something in the conversation that you were talking about, you'll see an ad and it just appears on your screen. Yes or yes. It happens to all of us, right? But Tammy, look at the look on your face. You know, and you understand on the back end, and so do both of you, how that actually happens. So it's you know,
we love that stuff. That's the stuff that, like, as Sophie would say, marketing boner. Because
hashtag marketing boner. Look that up, ladies and gents.
Don't look it up. Don't.
My friends get ads now. My friends get ADF ads, and they're like,
Dwayne Turvey said, absolutely. Natalie said, Google is watching.
Yeah, they do. Because it's based on, you know, habits, things that other people that are in your location or the phones that are near you that are looking up, so that you're recently talking about something and then that pops up. It's fucking cool to us. Like, we love that stuff. I love the way that we can pretty much chase you around the internet. I know
Yeah.
at one stage, one of Robbie's ads was showing up on Tinder. So I was like, okay, well,
And it's funny,
my
Tammy,
friends on
Robbie.
Tinder are screenshotting me going, Robbie's ad is coming up on my Tinder.
like a little sidebar. Yeah. Hey, Tammy, do you remember about 3 to 4 years ago, someone was like, get off my screen. I didn't ask you to be off my screen. We're like, all good, man. You must have clicked on something. Like, no, I didn't. Stop replying to me. You know, I'm like, mate, every time you say something, it goes deeper. You go deeper down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like hit unfollow if you like. So yeah, it's funny how the world works there. All right, so we've been able to introduce Noah and Soph so far.
Yeah.
Let me go back and address some of these questions.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, so Caitlin's asked, what is the most interesting thing you've learned about defense or veterans whilst doing the marketing for Axon? Over to you, Noah. What's the most interesting thing that you've learned about us? Not me, the community.
From the community.
Oh, not you. I was like,
No, not me.
So from the community, I would say commitment and putting others before you. Like from working with veterans and being around veterans all the time, it is very different, guys. Like I'll tell you, like I swear it's very different. Like everyone is always having each other's back no matter what. And this happens in the Defense Force. This happens in even Facebook groups from the Defense Force of veterans. Every time someone is needing some help, there's another person there to reach out and to help them. So I think that like how loyal they are to each other, and which makes me feel glad that I consider myself a part of the veteran community now, even though I'm not.
You brought it all together.
I mean, I'm always related to you guys. But yeah, I guess that for me is just how loyal they are.
Yeah, love it. What about you, Soph? What's the most interesting thing you've learned about the people who work at Axon or the community?
I've got a good one. Community, right. I would say. Very unique bunch because normal marketing practices do not work for you guys.
Yeah.
So one of the main things we would say that we've picked up a lot is that people say not to use language that would relate to just a certain amount of people. But with this community, I feel like that's crucial. And I feel like there are, that's part of the trust. And by, funneling it down and only getting a certain amount of people, that's what makes it, that's how we know that we're getting the right leads.
Yeah. Because it's not about just, a lot of other marketing firms will spend a lot of money and throw a lot of mud at the wall. And that's cool. That's like, just telling the message to everybody and seeing what sticks. We're like, no. That person over there needs this bit of mud. Let's throw it at them and let them consume it. And they're happy that they've got it and they want some more. CJ, I saw before, you said that you still get a bunch of Axon stuff coming your way, mate, which is awesome. So, and none of it's mud, brother. It's all chocolate when it comes your way. It's like a chocolate buddy mud cake.
My thing is actually like just well, as you said, they're very unique. Like I know, Robbie, in your transition seminar, they were sort of talking like you don't walk the same, you don't talk the same. Like you're not normal, mate. But yeah, like the mannerisms and being around veterans, like very unique. But as Noah said, also very loyal. Like we really do have a family sort of team because they are so loyal and connected. But also, the languaging, like, I'm still learning words. Like
we know a second language, Tam. We know. I'm putting it on my resume.
Yeah, it's great.
Even it's funny when new staff start, and especially if they're civilian staff, then I kind of have to go through that and say, like, they're very short with their replies, and sometimes like there's no please or thank you. It's just like ack. That's not being like rude. That's just the brevity. Like that's how they communicate, and like trying to explain that to civilian staff is very unique.
Stand by. I'll be back. Yeah.
Stand by to stand by.
Wait, I'm like, you can't say that.
Hey, one thing I've really, really noticed, and I actually had a really good session with a couple of police officers that have been referred to us through our family down in New South Wales, and they had bought and built a couple of properties with another firm like ours. And when I was having my sort of first initial discussion with them, I'm like, well, what do you need me for? They're like, oh, we're just sort of seeing who else is out there. And even though he said to me today, he goes, look, now that I've watched your process guide, and this is a whole education piece. So here's the thing, even though they're family, like, that funnel you were talking about, Noah, you see a little video, you see a TikTok, you see something on Instagram, you watch a YouTube, and then it like just follows you down the bottom. You get to a point where everyone needs to watch our training video. That's like would you guys call it, that's the bridge between marketing and then us being able to provide a service to someone.
And
right?
sales, yes.
Even if you get people reach out like, oh, I've seen you guys on Facebook, I want to work with you. You're like, go watch the video first, which you guys have created for me to then have the pleasure to deliver to everybody. Brand new version coming out everyone's way soon, isn't there, Soph? On that, Soph and Noah, I know you're really, really happy to do that. I've got to apologise. There's a couple of people that have been voted off the Axon Island that are still, on those videos, but that's okay. There's a new version coming soon.
Coming soon.
There's a couple of strategic pieces that just need to fall into place, but until I can allow that to occur. But rest assured, ladies and gents, you are not going to be disappointed. All right.
Yeah.
So but here's the thing.
It's going to be a great month for us. A big
yes.
one.
When we got, September, October, probably October. And I'm not in charge of that date. But this gentleman who watched some further parts of our education and mentoring, i.e. the process guide and the risk management guide, I haven't even shared this with you so far. Tammy, I told you earlier. He's like, Robbie, after I watched that video, and even though I've built 2 houses already with mentorship with other people, he goes, I rated them at an 8 out of 10. He goes, now I've watched your videos and I can understand the support, service, guidance, and mentoring I'm going to get from Axon. He goes, they're now a -4. I was like, wow. He goes, I'm blown away at how much support. And he goes, I've learned so much more watching a video with you than what I got from going through the whole process building 2 houses by myself. I'm like, bro, it ain't finished there yet. We've got heaps to go. So,
and just to add, his partner's mother has been in real estate
for like 30 years.
Sales
so they know
a long time. So they've got real estate people around them. And then just watching that education piece, they're like, we learned so much and realized how much we didn't know. So I just think that's amazing. Like that, the focus is always on education and helping people, even if it's not even if we're not a fit for someone right now, like educating people on what the next steps are, how they can get ahead in life, making sure that they're not getting stuffed around. Like there's so much that goes into it, and there's so much at risk if people do make poor decisions. Like especially ADF members with their housing entitlements and using them at the wrong time. I know there was a question we have to go back to, but using them at the wrong time, like that is something that the marketing is heavily focused on.
And building that community, and like even if we can't help you, we can help you in a way that will get you to where you want to go.
Yes.
Here's something else I want to share with you. Actually, Noah, you go first. There's another conversation I had last night, which I haven't shared with anyone yet.
It's one after the other. So I was going to talk about a conversation that we had this week with a client. He just entered the army. So he's very young. He's still doesn't have much savings, but he wanted to put a plan together. So he contacted us, sent us the sweetest email. And we're like, even though he's not ready to buy yet, that doesn't mean that we're going to treat him differently, because he's not ready to become a client just yet. So I know that Robbie got in contact with him. We asked him to watch the training, and if he wants us to go through a coaching session, so he can have a plan in place and a strategy to create his wealth. He's going to have access to that.
So good.
I just love when it's all the young people just getting started. Like that just makes my day when I hear of like super young couples or even singles, like just getting started. And I just think, wow, how smart. Like I'm so glad people are smarter.
I'm jealous. I wish I was that smart.
Great money habits from a very early age. That's
But here's the thing. There's other parts about your roles, ladies, isn't there, as far as, so we're talking about providing the education and very property focused, but there's other parts, there's other tools to our toolbox.
There's
some of the I think some of our greatest achievements over the last couple of years is starting our own podcast.
Yeah,
Axon's Unleashed.
That's
right?
huge.
Noah, have you got some stats there? How many episodes and views and stuff have we got so far?
Well, we've got 46 episodes on Axon's Unleashed and almost 8,000 plays.
Wow.
And
right. So here's the thing. Last night I was coaching some clients. They're down in Canberra. This lady is a pretty high up in the nursing fraternity, been doing it the better part of 15 years. Her partner's ex-army, now in the Air Force in the air intelligence space. So super intelligent, attentive, friendly sort of couple. And I had a little bit of, I was a bit embarrassed for the first time in a long time because she had listened to all of it. I was talking about something and it might have been, I can't remember what it was. You know, Tam, I talk about us starting the business all the time just to allow people to fully understand, you know, where we come from nothing and now we've got a little bit of something sort of thing. And she's like, I know.
$50 whiteboard, in fact. A $50 whiteboard off Gumtree.
To your podcast. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, tell me about your, you know, the podcast. And she's like, and then we were talking about something else. And then I was telling her about how I got sacked from the other job because I said, look, I want to do this one day by myself. And he's like, no, don't go. Came in the next day. He's like, see you later. Off you go. She goes, I know. She goes, I walked inside. She's like, you know, she said her husband's name's Reese. She goes, Reese, you should have heard what I heard on you should know what I heard on the podcast today. She was giving him an up-to-date run-to-run version of the soap opera that was going on in her ears, which is me and us.
Wow.
It's like, holy shit. Like it made me so, you know, and lots of other people that are on the screen here tonight have provided some amazing feedback on some of the, you know, the bunch of the podcasts that we've had. I've never felt, I said to her, I can't thank you enough in words, the fact that you are spending time out of your life to listen to me hosting the podcast with the various other guests that we've had sort of come and go there. I said, you know, thank you so much for doing that. She goes, no, I love it. Like, it's really, really cool. So like, it's a real strategic activity, you know, starting up. And as you guys are well aware, we don't talk about property anymore. So season 1 was all about who we are. Season 2 is all about the service providers. And then season 3 is just going to go on forever. You know, here we are. You know, so
and like they are so different, really. Like in the beginning, talking about, you know, the staff, talking about how we started. We've got the Dave's Dogs. Was that first or second season?
I think it was in the first. Yeah, it is the first. She's like, I was talking about Dave Simpson in the property, especially she's like,
that one, like, that's huge. That story about Dave and his dog, Sabi, overseas that went missing, got found by the Taliban. If you haven't listened to it, listen to at least that one. Like, holy. But yeah, so many different stories, and then now it feels like it's no longer stories, it's more education and like these chats with these amazing entrepreneurs, a lot of them veterans, how they started, what they've learned, and it's amazing to hear from so many different areas, like different industries, different different worldly experiences, but they've all got such great lessons for our community.
Look at Angie.
I'm getting a little distracted because all the chat's lighting up. Yeah.
And Caitlin, you saying that Dave's podcast made you cry is not actually that impactful because you cry most Fridays when we're doing our shout outs. God love you. You are a fucking amazing dude.
Oh, she's such a sook.
After me saying that right now.
We'll just give her like a little, like, you did a good job this week. And she'll be like, thank you.
Talk about fucking national TV. Here we are. Hey, Soph, I know something else you're really, really proud of is that's doing all the stuff inside our Axon Elite Facebook group.
Yes. No.
That was like, I think you were part of the brainstorm to even get that going in the first place. So do you enjoy sort of providing some of that deeper level, more advanced content for the, you know, our more paying customers and the interactions that we're getting there?
100%. But Noah has also been 100% helping me lately because I have been so busy.
We both have.
All right, that's all right. I'm giving you a little shout out, buddy. You don't need to drag anyone else into it.
Because we don't really get to meet the clients that much. It's really nice for us to get that touch point with the clients that way. And we really appreciate all the engagement and competitions. Yeah,
we were making fun of each other because we usually post and then we're the first ones to comment as well.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
me and Hannah commenting on each other's posts. We're just like, oh yeah, woo, accidentally. Come on.
And
yeah,
and
it's a lot of fun.
Soph, I know you're very avid in your social media stuff. Of course, we've recently started our TikTok page.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
That's what you were saying before when you said the podcast isn't really about property. I just feel like it's another extension of the different way that we can tell the story.
Yeah.
That sounds really hippy dippy, but
no, it isn't, mate. It isn't. It's amazing. Like I am gobsmacked that we started the podcast like two and a bit years ago, and there's people now go back and listen to like episode 1, season 1, like sort of thing. But it's
less than 2 years.
How funny
on one of our reels.
How much was it?
2 million now.
2 million views.
Matt, you've cracked 2 million.
That's the walking on the grass one, right?
Yeah.
Don't walk on the grass. There it is.
Oh my God.
We were just taking the piss out of the veterans in our office about you can't walk on the grass. And we're like, what are you talking about? So yeah, we did this like TikTok just taking the piss. Who's seen it? I was playing it. But it was just so funny, and it for some reason just went off. It was probably more Nat sharing it everywhere because she.
If you've got it there, Noel, you can share your screen and play it through the screen.
Oh yeah, okay, hold on.
Show everyone because not everyone's got
God,
TikTok.
let's do this.
Not everyone's got TikTok. Here we go.
It's also on Instagram, but let's do this. Sharing screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let me down, buddy.
No.
Don't share wrong screen.
Yeah.
My God, imagine that.
Yes. Here we go.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right.
When one of your workmates is a new veteran.
Hi, what are you doing? What? Can you walk on water? Are you Jesus? What are you talking about? How's the rough?
I love it. So good.
Since we're here, just let me show you one more of how to spot a veteran in the workplace. I guess we had fun doing that one, right, Soph?
Yeah.
Go for it.
How to spot a veteran in the workplace. Black R. M. Williams. Walking in steps. Super short emails.
Yeah.
Tracking.
Thank you.
Ibuprofen.
Oh no.
A man's best friend. A veteran's best friend.
Spot a veteran in the
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
All right.
Stop
Awesome,
staring.
Noah. Thank you. Yes, fantastic.
But see, even though these things just seem fun, they bring in a lot of engagement, a lot of free traffic. We're always thinking marketing in the back channels.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we also love having fun. Like that just
So much
it
fun.
really is the epitome of our not only our marketing team, but essentially our marketing team because we're always laughing. But the team as a whole, like how they like how much fun we have, but also like we can take the piss out of them like this, and like it's funny.
My God,
like,
absolutely.
they love it too.
I love how jealous the partners get. I know that Daniel's partner Jags, she's so jealous. She's like, I can't believe you go to work and then you get to do fun TikToks.
Yeah. I've got this.
Josh does the same too.
Oh yeah, he's so jealous. Absolutely.
I've got an announcement to make on national TV, and I'm going to make a collage about it between now and the end of the year. And you guys are going to get it in your email inboxes as a Christmas present.
Aww.
Oh my God.
It's called Robbie's Finally Come Out of the Closet. Every house I go to, I'm going to do a bunch of videos of me coming out of the closet, either the walk-in pantry or the walk-in robe or the ensuite. Robbie's going to come out of the closet.
We're going to hold you to that.
He has been filming that.
I've already got a couple under my belt. The girls are out there doing videos and stuff like we were yesterday. I'm like, fuck this. I jump in the closet. I'm out of the closet.
Robbie, I love that. Okay, guys, this is how we brainstorm things with Robbie, guys. Yeah.
Mate, I get inspiration. I see all the little reels that people are doing. I'm like, fuck, that looks good. I'm like, how can I get involved in there? Because this is my show.
That's it.
I love it. I love it. I
Oh
love
my
it.
god.
Oh dear.
What about and go for it, Tam.
We should also just touch point on these two have been key in us going so well recently in our award submissions.
Oh, awesome.
So I know, like a lot of you have seen, we have been nominated and won and become finalists for some amazing awards recently. And there is so much that gets involved when you are nominated for an award. You have to provide a summary, basically essays on why you deserve to win, what have you done for the community, what's your what sort of questions do they ask? There's things
vision, mission, values. What have you done from a growth
sustainability,
perspective?
Growth plans.
What are some of the challenges that you face? Like, you name it. Like, it's very interesting. Like, so you're the one.
It's a thesis.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thanks, Amanda.
They have done so well, and we have been so blessed and so proud to have some amazing awards coming up. We've got a couple coming up very soon, actually. So yes, and the ones that I'm really excited about is we're actually we're finalists in some defense awards, which I think that's just huge. I'm so excited for those ones. Just having that connection to our community and super proud. That's well done to you two girls, because
the thing is with these submissions, every time you make a claim, you have to back it up with something. You can't make stuff up. This is honestly, it's you guys. It's all you guys. We wrote the words. You did it.
Oh, that's right. It's actually a good little segue. So for those of the not trucking, we're down in camp. There's another little military term. Our time on target RV next week down in Canberra will be 1800 at Marble and Grain. I was doing that on purpose, so sorry, buddy.
I don't have to know this.
We're going to be down in Canberra on Wednesday night next week to do a client meetup. So if you're watching this live, or like if you're watching the replay, and you're going to be in Canberra next week, and you're part of our Axon inner circle.
Don't just turn up. Send Noah an email first.
I was getting there, Tammy, and so reach out to us and make sure you get on the invite list. And then the night after, that's when we've got the first of the awards down there in Canberra, which is the Defence Connect Awards. I believe it's services to veterans.
It is. It's the Defence.
Sophie, what's the actual name of that one for Defence Connect, please?
Veteran Support Program.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much. There you go. I won't be providing a speech for that one because I don't even know what it's fucking called. So, and I'll be probably carted by then. So tomorrow I can go up there and do any sort of speech that we may or may not have to do. So yeah, that's an amazing one. And Soph, I think you just said it before. There's a Prime Minister's Veterans Awards that we've recently been nominated as a finalist. So not we, Tammy. Tammy's been nominated as a finalist for that one. So
you got a highly commended though for yours as well.
I got most improved / best clubman. Probably not the trophy I'll put up on the
wall. But we've never had one of those. We've been nominated and entered before, but we've never got a highly commended before. So that is still something. You're getting a little certificate in the mail.
I was first one. Oh, sorry, I was somewhere outside the top 3. I'll take that.
There's only 3 finalists, so I feel like you must be 4th.
Next year.
I'm pulling the piss out of myself, girls. I don't give a fuck one little bit. Like, I know it's good for everybody and I'm happy to contribute, but I don't wake up in the morning and go, I wonder if I'm going to win an award this year. It's never on my radar.
Don't take it off me then.
I'm not. I said it's just me, not you.
Oh my God.
You just stand up in your seat and scream if she wins.
Yeah, I will. I absolutely. Wait, what about my little post the other day, Tammy, about your
nomination? Very cute.
That was very cute.
Come on.
But guys, just so you know who's watching, out of a team of 15 members, we have 9 veterans and 3 veteran spouses. And we, 2 of them have got out of defense and transitioned directly to Axon, which is huge. So we've been able to support them throughout all the transition journey.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of events last year as well about veteran transition. So Tammy is a great spokesperson for veteran transition. So those are things that really help. Like our true commitment to service the veteran community is what gets us in as finalists in those awards as well.
And there's the speech. Well done, Noah. Write that down for someone,
There
please.
you go.
Somebody write that down.
Margaret, it's true. Rata, you are outnumbered. We've actually got we're actually more than 50% women now.
More, yeah. Out of 15, we have 8 women.
Whoop, whoop. Soon to
That
be,
was, you know
soon to
what,
be
when we
9.
first started, we were a boys' club, and this is something that I have worked hard on as well, is making sure that we've got Noah and we've got Angie both in our leadership team.
Yeah, the girls.
So, and we've got Nat as one of our team leaders, supervisors. So we've got some amazing female leaders coming up the ranks as well. So it's really nice that we're able to balance out the workforce, because it could really turn into like a boys' club, because we do predominantly help a lot of males and that connection. But yeah, it's
I'd probably say it's, Tam, it would have been 90% males for the first couple of years. I reckon it's probably, on gut feel now, it would be 65-35.
Wow.
Like there's a lot more women and a lot more couples that are coming to us. Yeah, which is really,
but
really
in
cool.
terms of singles, yeah,
it's probably 80-20. We've got another superstar joining us soon, haven't we? Another female superstar joining us soon. So watch out.
Oh, there's another one. We're about to go up
this
even
space,
more.
ladies and gentlemen. Watch this space. And I'm in the final process of training up another gentleman as well. He hasn't quite got through the gate yet as far as competency goes. So I'm still working on him in the background. So he shall be released to the world in another couple of months also.
I've heard that he needs a lot of work, Robbie.
Oh, I know he does. I absolutely know he does. Hey, Noah, I know that you did a little – actually, Noah, you can tell us about what's the ritual in the office when something amazing happens?
Oh, okay. And then there's Noah and Sophie ritual as well. So every time something happens at the office, we have this little gong. So we hit the gong, and then everyone has to drop everything, stop what you're doing, and we reunite in the middle of the office. And then the person who did the gong will tell us the reason why they hit the gong. Yeah. And then me and Sophie have our ritual, which is Sophie's it's tinier than me. I'm bigger than her. So I usually grab Sophie, and then we both hit the gong together. Grab her on my lap, and then we hit the gong together.
What we're sort of talking about there, team, and Noah, I'm going to get to the reason why you did an actual gong in a minute. Okay. The latest milestone that we've achieved on your end. What we're talking about there. So us coaches get to do a gong when someone's accepted into our long-term coaching program and they accept their success package. The property specialists get to do a gong when someone gets their finance approved and they're unconditional, which is the absolute main step as far as finance goes, that the property is actually going to go ahead and be built and therefore be part of their future. And the amazing build support girls get to do a gong when a property gets tenanted or someone moves into their property. So that's everyone gets to do it. But in the marketing department, Noah, because you're in charge of our web page, what do you guys get to do a gong for?
So this is a gong for the whole team, but we're the ones that got to find out the number before. So we've just reached $170 million worth of property build. This is built.
That's $170 million worth of wealth going back into the defense community, and that's just the purchase price of their properties. And we know how fast the property market has been going. So if we had actually included the growth figures, that would be far higher. But we're being conservative and just doing sales figures of their property is huge. That's
how many properties?
So if you're the one that does those before and after growth photos, bought in 2021 for 526, property now worth 800, whatever it is. Like, I guess that's what we're talking about there. There'd be another 30 or 40 million dollars easily on top of that. I mean, even if it's only 20%, that's 30 million dollars or so worth of growth.
Properties, when Soph does the growth post, she's like $200,000.
She's like, "Is this right, Robbie?" I'm like, "Yeah, mate. I'm actually being conservative. There's bloody properties on realestate.com right now. They're selling for $100,000 more. So just be conservative. We don't need to like pump up the figures." No,
but that's so true. So it's like, is this right? Or even the estimated rental and then the actual rental, and you're like, I think this is wrong. And I'm like, no, it's right.
It just sounds wrong.
And I guess one of the things we also do from a marketing point of view, which I get the real privilege of doing after some friendly reminders from Soph, is our weekly success stories. I hope everyone's been loving the success stories. I sit down, like, it's funny when we go to Canberra next week, when you're the coach of someone and we just, we get the client to pour their hearts out in front of us. Fuck, we were talking about some amazing stuff last night. I got 2 more calls after this, which have, some quite deep and meaningful calls with some amazing people as well, to dissect and understand and put a plan in place and ultimately allow them to succeed in whatever else they're doing. I've done a few client meetups now. I sit back sometimes and I'm like, I know everything about that circumstance, and that's almost like I've got a window into their soul. And it's like that movie from Mel Gibson called What Women Want. And like he can all of a sudden hear all the things that women are talking about in his head. It's like that's the feeling that I get a little bit anyway. So I guess what I'm talking about when I do my success stories, I'm like, right, what do I remember about this couple? What do I remember about this person or whatever, 2 brothers buying a property together, whatever it is. So I hope you guys really appreciate the effort and care that I try to put into those sort of success stories. And, thankfully we get, a bunch of really awesome feedback there about what those personal journeys is that people that have been on and the success that they've got. People are like, honey, mate, if they can do it, we can do it as well. So it's a real little shot of inspiration for everybody, which I absolutely love doing.
It does also open up how some people have got things like have sorted things out, like as you said, brothers buying together, or utilizing the bank of mum and dad, or the like equity in their property, like different situations. When you share those different and especially the unique sort of ones, then people can think outside the box a bit for themselves and go, oh, I should have a chat because maybe there is something here. Maybe there is an option for me that I never thought was an option. Like I might not have enough of a deposit, and or people think that they're not ready to go and they potentially are. Or because especially with the lead times for some of the land, if they're on a set savings plan and they're doing really well, then they could get started now, lock in prices and keep going with their savings plan, meet that savings plan, get all the finance. Like there's so many options but people sit on their hands and think that they're not ready. But what the market is like still going up like that,
in some places.
In general, over time, if you sat on your hands for another 2, 3, 4 years, like that's what I'm saying.
I have had those conversations.
Equity, that right there.
Yeah, I ask everybody. I'm like, so how did you come in contact with us? Did someone put you in touch? Did you see us on social media? Did you do a Google search? And just recently, I don't know why, more than half the people I do a connection call with, they're like, oh no, I've been following you for the last couple of years. I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Haven't you missed out over the last couple of years? I'm like, why have we not spoken already? But you know what? Everyone's on their own journey. And here's the thing. If you're disappointed that people bought a property in 2020 and you're like, oh shit, I'm going to pay more than what they did. When you buy your property in 2022, 23, when people are buying property in 24, 25, they're going to look back and go, fuck, I wish I had got it in 22, 23. So it's like the time is right for whenever it's right for you.
But the thing is, Robbie,
it's funny, in our marketing side, we can sort of see when people first interacted or even like the first time they subscribed to our newsletter and then they've never liked anything. They've never commented on one of our Facebook Lives. They've just been hidden in the background, and then suddenly they'll go, oh yeah, I've been watching you for 2 years or something. We're like, why did you never like our stuff or comment?
People are just lurkers. Yeah. Hey, Noah, you go quickly, and then Dwayne Turvey, I hope you're still listening, brother. I'm going to come back to your question in a minute, as promised.
We do lots of posts on this, which is the 7 ingredients to property. So if you could name them to me, this is a test.
Oh,
I bet
the
you
7
can.
ingredients to a healthy property market.
Medical
Yes.
transport, master plan communities, retail, medical,
Only 2 to go.
diminishing land. Oh, what's the last one?
The most important one.
School.
Population.
Population growth. Good girl. You said medical twice, but I know you meant education.
Cool.
Same.
Education.
Well done, Tammy. Well done, Tammy.
I was
But-
like,
but yeah.
I think she's missed one.
No, it was great. Well done,
Education.
Well
What's
done,
nervous?
Sophie.
You did very well,
That was
Dan.
great.
Very well.
Very good.
That was great.
Very good. 6.5
But
out of 10.
that's what makes the difference for even though, if you're thinking on investing property now and you think, the prices are too high, but we make sure to pick the location that they follow all the 7 ingredients, that they're still going to have property growth. If you follow all the posts that Sophie puts up as well with property growth, we have heaps of success stories that of properties that were acquired on June 21, August 21, and already we're handing over them now, and they already have $100,000 in equity and growth. So
But it's also a great way to go back and read all the success stories and see how we've been able to help each person with their, different posting, different circumstance, use their entitlements as well.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, just quickly,
So-
Dwayne, he said, hi team, can we please touch on what entitlements after transition period? What entitlements can I access after the transition period and how long we have to use the entitlements? So the main
First
one.
of all, it's in our training and it's in our ebook as well. So if you don't get the full thing, it's marketing thing. We can pump the marketing here.
We can. Good news is
all on our website as well.
Dwayne and Brooke were on a coaching call with us last night, actually. So that was important that we go through this. Dwayne, straight away when you are separating, mate, you walk away from your HPAS, which is a home purchase assistance scheme. It's almost like the military's version of your first home owner's grant. It's a one-off cash payment of about $16,000. It's about $11,500 after tax. So you definitely don't get that because you need to have 12 months tenure left in your current posting location to get that $11,000 cash payout. And then obviously you walk away from your HEPSI, which is your home purchase sales expenses allowance, because that you need to maintain the buy-sell sequence of when you're staying in. So that's 2 of them there that you don't get access to anymore. If you've not bought and lived in a house before, you may still be entitled to your particular state's first homeowners grant, $10,000 down in New South Wales, $15,000 up here in Queensland, for instance. So that's a one-off cash injection that gets paid directly to the lender when the slab goes down. It doesn't get paid to you. So it's important that you may or may not be able to use that as part of your deposit and costs. But the one thing that does go on now, mate, it's changed about 2.5 years ago from 2 years to 5 years, is that you're now still eligible to get the DOHAS subsidy on your home loan. That is a DVA payment under a 3-tiered system that basically goes directly onto your home loan. If you've done less than 20 years, Dwayne, which you have, you revert back to tier 1, even though you may be on tier 2 or tier 3. So at the moment, tier 1, depending on how much your home loan is about $320 a month. But $320 a month going straight onto your home loan is better than nothing.
Absolutely.
It also depends as well. So it's important to get those actual figures on whether you are on a better rate by going with a DOHAS loan, because there are only 3 providers that do the DOHAS loan, whereas maybe you might go through a mortgage broker and work out that because of other things that you might need for that loan, it might work out better to forego that DOHAS. So it's always important to map out a plan and figure it out rather than just jump because someone's throwing money, waving a little magic wand in front of your face.
I use a little saying that the tail doesn't wag the dog. What I mean by that is using your ADF housing entitlements and chasing that little bit of money does not drive the strategy. Tammy very well said, you should be a property coach one day. So even though I know you block out me when I'm drawing off about stuff, clearly you listen a little bit because you absolutely articulated it perfect. Didn't you, girls? How good was that?
Next property coach.
It's absolutely right. So chasing your ADF housing entitlements by pulling the trigger on them when you're posted to somewhere that's not going up in value, for instance, is not the smartest idea. That's the tail wagging the dog. All right, ladies and gents.
That should be another thing we spoke about, because you guys have the most like random analogies for every single thing. Like,
I don't have
should. Let's
analogies.
do
I just
TikTok.
say shit and it happens. Love it. Hey, I gotta go. I've got another call. Noah, thank you so much for joining us. Soph, you're gonna get off and go. I'm gonna do next week as well. You loved it, haven't you?
We want so all of them.
Loved
she's
it.
back.
Well done, girls. Thank you so much for
why
joining
get
me.
rid of her?
All right, see you later, team. Thanks everyone for listening and
Bye.
watching. See you next
Bye.
fortnight.